Welcome back. Welcome back to TAJ Radio. Yes, this is finally the return of my show, radio show, whatever you want to call it. Here with me, I have Nick White. Hello, Nick.
Hello, hello!
So good to have you here.
I'm so excited. Thank you for having me for the first episode of TAJ Radio 2021.
Yes, 2021. It is a new year. We're still, trying to progress things, but let's try to vibe in the new year, everyone. So yeah, I'm here with Nick to talk about our new collab, Trust No One, which will be played here.
Okay.
And we're also going to be talking about his upcoming music and, his visual work. He has art and stuff to when he promotes his music, and it's pretty awesome stuff. I'm very excited to be talking with him about that.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Okay, and before we get into everything, I'm going to play Trust No One, our song, which is out now, buy and stream everywhere on all platforms. Here we go.
All right.
I trust no one. I trust no one. The ones that hurt me always won. I trust no one. I trust no one. You won't fool me, I'm not the one. Opened up another part of me inside, showing colors how I wanna be. Sometimes wondering what I'd do if I knew how things would end for us. Trusting you is my mistake I made. I trust no one. I trust no one. The ones that hurt me always won. I trust no one. I trust no one. You won't fool me, I'm not the one. What was you out here doing? What are you trying to hide? Who the fuck are you screwing? You got someone on the side? I heard another voice. That ain't one of your boys. Who was that on the phone? You sure as hell weren't alone. Hella shit you ain't telling me. I ain't with it. Don't be acting stupid. I'm not one to play with. Not putting up with your mess any longer. Getting my backstab is making me more stronger. I trust no one. I trust no one. The ones that hurt me always won. I trust no one. I trust no one. You won't fool me, I'm not the one. I trust no one. I trust no one. The ones that hurt me always won. I trust no one. I trust no one. You won't fool me, I'm not the one.
And that was Trust No One by me and Nick White. I'm very excited about this song. I'm excited to put it out. So,
I remember Taj, the way that it even came about. So Taj was working on it, and then I was doing a live stream. I think it was either with Eddie the Kid, or maybe it was by myself. And then Taj jumped into the live, and he was like, "Oh, I have this new song I'm working on." So I played it in the live stream, and then we just started talking about it. And Taj was like, "Yo, there's this empty verse. Do you want to, add your own verse? Email me, some."
together.
Yes, exactly. And that was kind of that initial connection that we had made was on that live stream. So from there, you asked me to send you a verse, and I kind of took the mood of the song and the lyrics that you had already written for yourself, and I just thought of a way that I could add my own little touch to it while staying true to the message. And I'm really happy that it worked out, that we were able to collab together and make some art together, because it was so organic and natural. And if you hadn't have jumped into that Instagram live stream, it might not have happened. So I think it's the small things, like every little thing matters, and you never know like when little connections or pathways are going to be made. So I'm really happy that we're at this place now, and that connection was made at the end of last year so that we could do the song.
Yeah, I'm glad that we got to collab together, work together, and actually, I was there's like a whole story behind this. So Nick White wasn't actually the first person I was going to have on it. I had so many artists in the lineup for this empty verse, and like things didn't work out. Like it was production stuff going on, and basic people being inactive, and no hard feelings to them, because they're the artists I was gonna have on here are pretty good artists. I'm pretty good friends with them. It's just it wasn't working out, so I had to like find more people, and I really wasn't gonna make this a solo song. I don't know why I wanted this to be a collab, but I'm glad it worked out, and I'm glad Trust No One is here. I'm glad I got to create this, and I'm creating this EP that's coming up, and
Sex and Vulnerability Part 1.
yes, I was gonna talk about that too. Yeah, Trust No One is definitely going to be on there, and I have another new single coming up, which is another song from the EP, and it's also a collab too. I wish I could.
I think collabs are the moment right now, because really music is all about connectivity and building community, and sharing that experience with other artists. I think especially in our community, it's so important that we work together and we lift each other up. So I think it's totally the move. I mean, I have some collabs that I've been, really, really working hard on as well. So I totally applaud you. I think collabs are the move, and let's just keep doing them. Let's keep collabing.
Thank you so much. I love that you do collabs too. I mean, you have the Moon remix called New Moon with Eddie the Kid, who I love with a passion. Eddie is just so talented. He's everything. So I'm glad you have him on it, because I do love his song with Kisos called Lunar Tide.
Woo!
I have Kisos on here too. Shout out to
Yes, I remember. I was actually watching the radio show when Kisos was on, like last year.
Yeah, I love doing that, and Kisos is another good artist. I love him. I love Quarantine. I love everything he does. Yeah. Which brings us to the upcoming music thing, which we will talk about after we play Moon, which is coming up right now.
All right.
Through what I've been through. If you could see what I've been through. 17 isn't always what it seems. Not for me, yeah. Suddenly, everybody's watching me. Let me breathe. Got the call, sent me walking down the hall to tell it all. Yeah, didn't know they were gonna deal a blow. Knocked off my toes, I didn't know. Hey, I didn't know there wasn't loyalty. I didn't know about the hypocrisy. What they were gonna take away from my sound, my light of dime. change. Seems like everything's in vain. It's not the same, no. Later found out I was stunning. Isn't that just what you wanted? Been caught on the fact that I paid with my time to repair and build up from the falling place. Further inflamed by the lack of support and compassion, prolonging the path to my purpose. Still it was worth it, I know I deserve it, and before a reason is what I believe in. Didn't know there wasn't loyalty. I didn't know about the hypocrisy. What they were gonna take away from my sound mind, light of dime. What I've been through, 'cause it's not about you. But if you could see the dark side of the moon, you'll never know what I've been through, 'cause it's not about you. But if you could see the dark side of the moon.
And that was Moon by Nick White. I love Moon so much. And we're going to talk about it. So, how did Moon even come to light? How, like, what is, like, where, when did you come up with it? What place you were in? Like,
So
how
I
you,
wrote Moon about a personal experience I had in high school. I was outed in high school by one of my close friends at the time, and I was going to a private Christian school, and they kicked me out of the school when word got out. So, you know, that experience for me was very eye-opening about values and you know, the way that you can be treated for being different or not fitting in, you know, walking into a situation that you didn't know you were walking into so innocently, really. So Moon is about that experience. And, you know, it kind of touches really deep for me. That was like a little bit of a dark point when it was when I was 17. And, you know, that's the beginning of the song, 17 isn't always what it seems. And then the chorus talks about, I didn't know what I was walking into. How could I know? You know, at such a young age, I was just trying to figure out who I was and, you know, dealing with the feelings I had inside of me and growing up in a really religious family and a religious environment with the school I was in. It was very like confusing and disorienting when I was hearing so much negativity about, you know, what it meant to be gay or what it meant to be attracted to someone of the same sex. And, you know, some of those things can really damage your mentality. And, you know, I am fortunate that I came out of it on a brighter side and I didn't let it, you know, ruin me. But my heart really goes out to a lot of students and young people to this day that are still negatively affected by that sort of ideology and mentality that's very oppressing. And it's just wrong, you know, especially young kids that are just coming into their own. I don't think that they should ever have to deal with that sort of trauma. So that's what Moon's about. Moon is about, you know, in light of the trauma, realizing that you didn't know what you were walking into. Like, you can't hold yourself responsible for something that someone else or some religion or, you know, some person is imposing on you. And so I hope it's encouraging to people. You know, I know there's still a lot of kids that get kicked out of schools and private schools or churches or families or communities because they come out or their family stops talking to them, and it's horrible. So, you know, Moon is a song that I hope people can lean into in times when they're doubting themselves, or they're feeling alone, or they're feeling like they don't have support from the people around them or the community around them. And hopefully, they can find a new community, and, they can find new hope within themselves. The very end of the song, the lyrics go, "You'll never know what I've been through because it's not about you. But if you could see the dark side of the moon." And the dark side is some of that trauma, some of those painful experiences that you've gone through. And if other people could just put themselves in someone else's shoes and see some of those dark sides that people go through, then, maybe that can allow for some healing, and maybe that can also allow for change going forward. Maybe some hearts will be changed. And, for the people that do have trauma, hopefully it gives some comfort. That's what I really hope Moon can do. Is, for me, Moon is my higher self lives on the moon. And that's kind of where I tie in my comic series. The moon is where you go when you feel enlightened, or you feel like you've reached a higher version of yourself. So I hope that everyone can make their way to the moon.
That was pretty nice, and that story, that was very touching, because all my life, I've been, while excuse me, sorry, while I wasn't kicked out of any schools or homes, I was like, left out from things, and I had people say things about me, and I had when it came to my sexuality, I was like pretty complicated. It was pretty complicated. Like, I was straight, I was bi, I was this, I was that. So, I still struggle with it to this day, but, I am happy with who I am, and, comfortable in my skin. And I do hope that your song does speak out to, other gay kids, younger LGBTQ kids, and, yeah, and that's really, it's really a beautiful moment, that not even just a song, whatever, it's a movie, book, TV show, whatever, and you could find someone who is like you, that can be pretty empowering for someone. And it's, especially in this day and age where it's all about representation, and yeah. So let's talk about your upcoming music. So any tea you want to spill, any, is it a single, EP, album, mixtape, whatever it is you have coming out,
So right now I actually have a couple music videos in the works. I have the Drip Gold music video, which will be premiering on January 29th. I'm so excited for this one. I'm also going to follow it up with a Bulgarian version. Part of my philosophy in, building a music community and connecting people through music is singing in different languages and reaching a broader audience. And, hopefully one day as a touring artist, as I'm in different countries, I can sing music in the native language of the country I'm in. So for Drip Gold, I have an English version, which includes a Spanish verse, and then I also have a Bulgarian version. So those music videos will be out. The English version will be out on the 29th, and it'll also be featured on the Quarantine episode on, I think, the 31st. And then following that, I have a music video for Moon and a music video for the Spanish version of Moon. And that is TBD as far as a release date. I don't want to quite say when that one's coming out. Besides that, I have a collab with Eddie the Kid and Kisos. It's the This Isn't Love remix, and that'll be coming out on February 14th. And in addition to that, I recently have put together a couple release shows. The first release show is going to be on February 3rd for Eddie and Kisos' Lunar Tide vertical video. We did an at-home video, and I edited the video for them. So we're going to do a release show, have a couple different artists, do some performances and Q&A. I'll be hosting that on February 3rd. And then on February 14th, when the This Isn't Love remix comes out, we'll be doing another release show. So February is looking to be a pretty exciting month. I'm excited. And then March 5th, I have a new single coming out. I don't want to quite announce the name of the single and who it's with, but it is a collab, and I'm really excited. So March 5th will be my next big single release after that.
That is awesome. The release shows, the remixes, music videos. I can't wait for the music videos because I've seen like what you've been up to, and like I'm just speechless. Like wow, like I can't wait for the Drip Gold video and the multi-language versions. I can't wait for that. That's pretty exciting that you're doing a lot. Like you did more than me than what I did in 2020, you know?
Hey, it's all a journey, you know? Like, I really feel like I didn't become this productive until the past like year or two, you know? And I just turned 30. So, you know, it takes a while. You have to really dedicate yourself to your craft. I moved to LA 6 years ago. And, you know, I spent many years before I even moved to LA working on music in my early 20s. And then once I moved to LA, I spent many more years just networking and building relationships with people that have allowed me to improve my skills and learn how to edit. I've had mentors that I've been sitting next to in the editing bay for years, just watching them edit videos, and that's how I finally have become a video editor myself. You know, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of time and practice and dedication. So just keep working towards your goals and, you know, baby steps. You take one thing at a time, and before you know it, you're going to be creating like incredible work. And, you know, no matter what place you're at, as long as you're creating, then you're already on the right path because everyone's path is different.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And, with this whole pandemic, I feel like everybody has been, finding something to do. And, people have been doing a lot since we, been on lockdown you know, and I think 2021 is getting near too. We were all hoping for all of this to be over, but, you know, that's just how the world works, Um,
It's true.
let's get into my upcoming music, my new EP, Sex and Vulnerability Part 1. So I came up with this EP where I was at a time, my mental state was, just going crazy. And also I've been, expressing my sexuality lately and, yeah. So this EP is all about heartbreak, my depression, and how I feel about sex and expressing my sexuality and things like that. So I was pretty excited to be coming up with this. It's a two-part EP. Part 1 comes out in May. Don't know the date yet. Don't know what date I wanted to drop, but on Valentine's Day, I will drop the cover and the track list. Um,
Ooh.
yeah. And so one of the songs on here, which was the new single, can't spill the title yet. No, it's not Trust No One. It's another song. Um, I surprised myself when I wrote this because I was like, damn, I'm rapping like this. I'm writing songs like this. It's like, well, I really shocked myself. So it's like, I don't know how y'all gonna feel when I drop this song. The artists I have on it I've worked with before. We're coming back again to do this. In the cover, I love the cover so much. It's made by a graphic designer who I'm very close to as well. I love his work. Yeah, so it's a pretty it's a pretty big process with this EP. Like I'm very excited. Yeah, so be on the lookout for when part 1 of Sex and Vulnerability drops. Part 2 may drop next year. I don't know when, but yeah. So the last song we will playing is Drip Gold. The music video is coming up on the 29th. So
29th.
be on the lookout for Nick White's music video for Drip Gold. So yeah, here's the song.
had to try. Heard it was a lie, so it took a while to decide. Now I'm through. Anyone like you? Now I'm through. Now I'm through. Anyone like you? Now I'm through. En mi otra vida sabía la casa estaba embrujada, sin empatía. Quiero decir fue bastante aterrador. Ya mira, now I'm through. Anyone like you? Now I'm through. Now I'm through. Anyone like you? Now I'm through.
Hey, yeah, hey. Can't let you get back at me with a touche. I've got the top, no need for help, like a toupee. Been feeling great, learning from my old ways. Dodging all the bull, they need to hit them with the Olay. Can't be dealing with fakes and phonies, facing my scars like Tony. They wanna one-up on me, but I can't fall to foes' knees. Proceed past limitations. Since then I've been complacent, broke off these engagements just to save this.
Now I'm through. Anyone like you? Now I'm through. Now I'm through. Anyone like you? Now I'm through.
So I can be the king, be the best, conquering everything in my dreams. Funny thing though is I still haven't slept, kept the smoke in my chest for a prolonged effect. Seems the pros gone and left me. Hey, cozy, nigga white. Hey. Yeah.
Anyone like you?
Anyone like you, hey. I'm done with it. Hey. You done fucked up. Hey, yeah. Hey.
And that was Drip Gold by Nick White. So the last thing we're going to talk about is Nick White's visual work. He has art, he has music videos. So what art do you, I know you make comics and the single covers and all of that. How did you even get into like this whole animation style of the art? And when did you like start making it? Like how did you get into it and when did it happen? When did it come to your mind?
So it came to my mind because the pandemic started and I was doing photo shoots and video shoots at the beginning of 2020. And then right before I was about to shoot the cover for Drip Gold, that's when the lockdown happened and I wasn't able to book a photographer. So I had to think of a way to do a cover remotely. So I was on Twitter and I found an artist named Tyler Judson who was doing doodles for like, he's like retweet and follow and I'll do a doodle. So I followed him and he did a doodle for me and it looked so good. I instantly wanted to work with him on some covers. So I asked him to do the Drip Gold cover and what I did was I did a little fake photo shoot at home where I was just positioning myself how I wanted to look in the cover. And then I sent it to him and I asked him to illustrate it for me. And he did a fantastic job. And that ended up being the single cover for Drip Gold. And then from there, it just kind of kept going. I just kept asking him, you know, the next song I did, Moon, I wanted to do another cover. And then I'd always had this idea ever since I was a kid that I wanted to make a comic series kind of based around my life and my experiences. But I didn't really know how I wanted that to come about. I didn't know the right people to, be able to form the series as I had envisioned it. But that all changed, after I met Tyler and once we started working together on the single covers. So then we did the Moon comic together, and I wrote the storyline of the comic with my mom and my sister, and I sent Tyler a storyboard, and he constructed some comic blocks, and the rest is history. Then we did the New Moon comic, and now we're working on a comic for the next single. And in fact, we even just did a promotional comic image for me and Taj for our new song Trust No One. So, I think that it's a really good extra kind of asset to my creative universe, is how I think of it. I love visuals. I love doing more than just doing the music. I also love doing the comics. I also love doing the music videos. I kind of love creating this overall universe that I can live in, and hopefully, other people can step into and enjoy as well. And then one of my goals for the comic series is to incorporate other LGBT artists as the characters in the series. So over time, we can build like this awesome comic series full of indie artists. And, I think that we're in the beginning stages of that right now. So I hope down the line that we'll have full-blown comic books, but right now it's just a comic panel with every single release that I put out, and then I do comic images in the same style for my single covers and my promotional images. And I think it's a good way to differentiate, and I think it's a good way to add another layer that wasn't there before.
That's amazing. I'm loving the art. I'm glad you really got into it, and yeah, your art is amazing. The artist is great, and the Trust No One cover promotional image is just wow. Like, it's amazing. Like, why didn't I think of this before? Yes.
I love it. We'll have Taj. We'll have to, now that you have a character image in the style of Nick's World Comics, we're gonna have to get you in one of the comic strips one of these days.
Y'all might see me in one of Nick White's comics, y'all. So be on the lookout.
All right, be on the lookout.
Yay! Fingers crossed. So now that we talked about the art, let's talk about the music videos. So we're in the pandemic and all, and but you've been creating videos before. I want to talk about that. How has creating music videos been for you in this day and age?
Well, it all started, my uncle is a comedian, and he was renting some office space at a local studio warehouse in Los Angeles. And I was at the studio with him one day, and I met the owner's son, and his name is Brent. And Brent and I, began talking, and, I shared some of my musical goals with him, and, he shared some of what he could do, and, some of his passions with video. He's a videographer. And from there, we just kind of budded a relationship and a friendship, and we began working together. So he has a production company that is called Firestone Films, and I began collaborating with him on videos, and we started kind of building a little team. There are like many different people that have been a part of the productions over the years, whether it comes to lighting or makeup artists and editors, production people, directors of photography. And, it's one of those things that just happens slowly over time. And we began doing covers together, and we filmed, the very first video we filmed together was called Digifame, which was one of my singles that I wrote in high school back in the day. And if anyone knows who Max Headroom is, we did a tribute to Max Headroom, and you can actually find that video on my YouTube channel still. It's way down at the bottom. You got to scroll all the way back. But that was the start of it. And then we started doing cover videos together. We did a video for Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. We did a video for this song called Oceans Away by the band Arizona. And then we did a couple Frank Sinatra style covers. One of them with a Marilyn Monroe impersonator, and that one's called Diamonds and Black Magic. And then we also did a video for Sway, which was made popular by Dean Martin and Michael Bublé. So all that to say, it's just been many years of collaboration and building kind of our production team together. And, now we're at the point where we're finally able to make some really nice music videos for my own original music, Drip Gold and Moon. It has been a little bit more difficult during the pandemic, of course. Back in January and February, I released a couple videos for the Let Me Down Slowly remix. And then we did a video for my Korean song, Be My Bae. And then right after that is when the pandemic happened. So my intention was to keep releasing a video every month. But I had to take a step back, once the state went into lockdown and, everyone had to start following more safety precautions. So we did take a pause. But then back in November of 2020, we did get a small crew together and we were able to film a couple more music videos. And those are the new ones that will be coming out at the end of this month. And then also hopefully going into February and March.
Oh, I can't wait for the future videos you got coming up. And I've seen all the videos you do, when I first started following you. And you did some pretty good work on those, pretty good stuff. I like that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So yeah, that was all for TAJ Radio. Go follow Nick White on whatever social media platform you have, and go to any streaming platform you got. Go listen to his music. He's so good at what he does. I'm glad to have him on this show. I'm glad to have a song with him. We might have more songs together in the future.
We might. You never know.
Hello. No, but really, it was a pleasure to work with Nick. It was a pleasure to have him on here. Thank you, Nick, for agreeing to wanting to come on here and talk with me about your stuff. I'm glad. I'm really looking forward to what you have in the future.
Thank you, Taj, and thank you for having me. Thank you for believing in me, and thank you for all of your encouragement and support over the time that we've known each other. Taj has always been so supportive of me and so many other artists in the LGBT community, and I think that really stands out. And so many of us just really, really appreciate your support, and thank you for having me on your song as well. I totally, don't take that for granted when people reach out to you and, ask you to, share your creativity with them. I think that's really special. So thank you, for this opportunity, and everyone stream Trust No One, mine and Taj's new collab out everywhere.
Hey, so bye everyone. Bye Nick. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you everyone for watching. There's more TAJ Radio coming soon, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Bye-bye.